Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great, and hopefully everybody can hear me and see me okay. So, welcome to the Power Hour. I know we got a lot of new people here, and that is really, really exciting. So, I'm going to call out the new people here in a moment, but just want to say hello, and I know that this is a different slot for the Power Hour. Normally, I do these the first Saturday of every month, so you can reliably count on this, but this month I was actually at an authors conference in Dallas, so I was at InkersCon, and I wasn't able to do this live stream because I was hanging out with other authors. And next month is the 4th of July. So we're going to be on an awkward schedule here for the next month or so, but we'll get back to the first Saturday of the month. And it's usually at 10 o'clock Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So for those, I got a little piece of lint in my hair or something there. I'll have to grab that. It's kind of going to drive me crazy. All right. So for the people who are new, welcome. So these are the Power Hours. And as I said, first Saturday of the month. And here's what we do. So the first 5 or 10 minutes or so, we just hang out, we shoot the breeze, we chat about what we're writing on or what we're writing. I answer any questions. I give you guys an update on anything that I'm doing that might be relevant to you. And then right about the 10-minute mark, here's what we do. I put on some music, and then I put a timer on the screen. And then we write for 20 minutes. and we work on our work in progress. So if you're working on a novel, work on your novel. If you want to answer some emails, work on whatever you want. And then after the 20 minutes is over, we come back on, we debrief. I let you know how much I wrote. You let me know how much you wrote. I answer questions. We just support each other as a community. And we do that 3 times. All right. And then at the end, as many veterans know, I will stay on the live stream as long as possible to answer any questions that you might have. So any questions you've got, throw them in the chat, and I won't get off of the stream until it's time. All right, I might have a little bit of a hard stop today, so you may want to ask as many questions as you can early. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at how everyone's doing here. We got a lot of people. This is a pretty packed Power Hour. Last month was a skeleton crew, and now we've got a lot of new people here. So if you're new, please let me know in the comments that you're new, and so I can say hello. SD Huston, hello. First time I made it to a live writing Power Hour. Awesome. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. And Megan says, I just got the like button for Michael. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Smash that like button. That is helpful. For those who don't know, I just did a video on Amazon ads for authors. If you need any help with Amazon ads or have been kind of afraid of it, be sure to check out the video. It's about a 45-minute video that goes step by step on how to create your ads, if anyone's interested. Misha, hello Misha, new person here. Well, welcome. And Mutavani, I hope I said your name correctly. New here, love from Africa. I would love to know, Mutavani, what time is it where you are right now? Because I imagine it's got to be either evening or pretty late. So that is awesome. And SD says, I'm working on drafting a first book of my new series, The Dragon King, drinking Coke to go along with my pizza lunch. All right. Well, pizza and Coke is a pretty good combo. I'll move the comments down just a little bit here. All right. Let's see. We got a lot of comments. So I try to call out everybody, but if I don't get to yours, just rest assured that I did see it. And good vibes. Hello, Jocelyn. Good morning. And let's see. Misha says, I'm still on water, but might switch to tea. And Greblock's new. Usually miss these, but watch videos. Cool. Working on an urban fantasy novel. I am working on an urban fantasy novel as well. So good vibes your way. And let's see. Oh, Rachel T. Waiting for coffee and still plugging away on my fantasy book. Fantastic. Adoji. Hello, Adoji. Hope you're doing well. And Jocelyn is brainstorming today. And let's see. Some comments on the music. The music you picked is very calming. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. The music I've selected is from Chill Hop Music. You can check out their YouTube channel. They've got some pretty cool music if you're into chill hop or boom bap. So it's good stuff. All right, Misha, I'm working on a playlist on Spotify featuring my favorite music for the week, which I haven't updated in forever, but decided to get back to now. Yeah, that definitely will make you more productive if you've got good music to listen to. So very, very nice. And Drone Pro, okay, working on a TED Fellows application and drinking black coffee. Well, good luck with your TED application. Hope you get it. That's good stuff. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, I cannot get to everybody's comments. So this is what happens when I actually am a proper author and I do what I'm supposed to do and I actually send out a newsletter to let everybody know that I've got a Power Hour. I get more people than usual. So just a word to the wise. Use your newsletter, guys, because this is what happens when I do that. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people here. Oliver edits, have you ever wanted to be a game writer? Yes and no. I still prefer books. I would love to be like a producer of a video game where I can have like the final say on stuff. But the writing piece, I'm not sure. Not sure. That's a specialized skill set. Okay. All right. Oh, Cindy, hello, first time. Well, welcome. Nicholas Cato Strode, welcome. And DC, good morning for California. All right. Beverly Toole, new, welcome, new. All right. Thank you all for the kind comments here. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we have so many comments. It's good stuff. All right. So here is what we are going to do. All right. So I'm going to go over the expectations again because I know some folks joined after I explained it. All right. So here is how the power hours work. In a minute or two, I'm gonna put some calming music on the screen and a big timer. It's for 20 minutes, and we are all gonna write toward our work in progress. So work on your novel, work on your Spotify playlist, work on your emails, work on your brainstorming, your TED Fellows application, all that good stuff. And we're going to be productive for about the next 90 minutes. And then at the end of that 20 minutes, I'm going to come on, we're going to cheer each other on, let me know how much you wrote, and then we are going to just chat. If you can ask me any questions you want about writing or self-publishing, I will answer those. And then we'll have 3 20-minute sessions. All right. And then at the end of that 20 minutes, I will stay on and answer any questions that you all have. And I have something really, really cool to show all of you, something I discovered yesterday that is going to be a game changer for me in terms of like productivity. So if you've got your attention, just hang on. All right. So this is really, really good stuff. All right. So why don't we go ahead and get on our first session, because we got a lot of people here, so I want to make sure that I get to all comments and stuff. So I'm going to throw the timer on the screen and going to throw some music on. And once the timer starts, let's go ahead and start writing. I've got some calming music, but if you don't like that, you can mute it and listen to your own. Just make sure you come back in 20 minutes, all right? So our first writing session begins now, and good luck, everybody. Let's get some words in. All right. Hopefully everybody had a great writing session. Let me know in the comments how many words you got written and how you're feeling, because I'm a big believer in if you feel good, then the words you write are going to be 1,000% better. So let me know, especially on my new people. How did you do? How did your first session go? And in the meantime, I'm going to look at comments here. Now, I'm working on book 3 of my Chicago Rat Shifter series. I don't know the name of the title yet, but I've been away from it for a while, so this is the first time I've come back to it in a few weeks, and so trying to get reacclimated with the story. But I did about 200 words, which is pretty slow for me, but it is all good. All right, let's see here. Questions that came in. All right, Greblocks has the honor of asking the first question here. I feel that two halves. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question. Working on a book, it's about 800 pages raw, but I think I've just made the decision to split the book, which brings up my question: have you ever had to split a book? And then the second part of the comment was, I feel the two halves can be independent with some work, considering there's a pretty big event around page 345. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I'm trying to think of books. No, I have not had to split a book at this point. I would say if you were going to do it, I think you alluded to it, that there's definitely going to be some work that you have to do, because really readers are wanting a closed, satisfied experience. And if you leave them hanging too much, then they might not like that. Now, there is something to be said for cliffhangers, but I would kind of make sure that if there are any like loose ends or threads and stuff, that you kind of tie those up before you split it, because otherwise you're going to get some unhappy readers. Readers they don't mind cliffhangers, but they do like a satisfying ending. So I would try to make sure, try to put yourself in the reader's perspective and ask yourself, is this ending satisfying, and does this first half stand on its own? And if the answer to that is yes, or as close to yes as possible, then I would do it. The only other thing you have to think about, and I think you're on the right track in thinking about splitting the books, is because you're going to have a heck of a time making a paperback edition if you've got an 800-page book. I don't know what the upper ranges of Amazon and Ingram Sparks paperbacks are, but I think you're getting pretty close if you're not already over that. So if you want to have your book in paperback, then I think you almost have no choice. So it's kind of a unenviable position to be in. So good luck. All right. Next question is from Rachel T. What do you do with written material when you realize you need to take the book in a different direction? Do you just leave it on the cutting room floor, so to speak? Yeah, I just throw it in the trash can. I don't even leave it on the floor, Rachel T. I just throw it in the trash can. Ultimately, the moment you decide, or the moment you realize, or like think at the back of your head, oh crap, I'm going in the wrong direction, I got to cut these 2,000 words or 3,000 words or whatever, then the sooner you should just rip the Band-Aid off and just cut the words. And the reason I say that is it's painful, but it's ultimately the best thing for your story. And I like to think about words as just tools. I'm not married to anything that I write. I want to do the best that I can when I put the words down on the page, and I want them to be read well and received well. But at the end of the day, they're just tools. And, it's like a paper plate or a napkin or something. Sometimes you got to take those things and you got to put them in the trash so that you can have a better meal. And that is a completely tortured analogy. I recognize that, but it probably makes no sense. But don't be afraid to cut words is my message. I think a lot of people are afraid to cut words. But at the end of the day, you do the best thing for your story. If you even suspect, within a second or two that you need to cut something, just cut it, and it'll be good for you. Okay. Megan, what is your secret to levels of productivity? Well, I've done a number of videos on it, and I know, Megan, you're a longtime subscriber. I would say, in a nutshell, I'll give you my top 3 secrets. So, number 1 secret is to wake up early in the mornings. If you can accomplish the hardest thing before breakfast, then everything else is easy after that. So I like to try to get a lot more done before breakfast than a lot of people can do in an entire day. So that's definitely one secret. Secret number 2 is finding new ways to write and express myself. So I've focused on learning how to write on my phone, using dictation, and I've actually gotten dictation to the point where it is absolutely exploding my word counts. And I'm actually going to do a video on that here pretty soon. I actually have it recorded, so it might be next week. So that's probably secret number 2 is finding that writing app and that process that fits you like a glove, so that anytime you sit down, you're automatically going to be productive, even if you haven't written in a while. And I think number 3 is I'm pretty ruthless about my time. I only spend my time doing the things that move the needle. So if something isn't working for me, or if something is not contributing to my 3 pillars, which my 3 pillars for strategic priorities are: become a world-class content creator, become a technology and data-driven writer, and then become the writer of the future. If the things I'm doing every day are not contributing toward that goal, I just simply don't do them, or I might hire somebody to help me. And so, those are my top 3 things in a nutshell. I've got some books if anyone's interested. One of them is Be a Writing Machine. It's kind of my most popular book, but I've also got another book on productivity and strategy, and it's called the Indie Author Strategy Guide. So if folks are interested in that, those are some of my secrets to productivity. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at word counts here. SD, 403 words, feeling good, trying to dictate this book, but the program is not working as well today. Yeah, SD, what program are you using? Are you using Dragon, or are you using another program? I'd be curious to know. All right, Nicholas, 1426, feeling good. Nice. Gussie, 609. All right, Misha added 2 songs to my weekly faves playlist. Nice. All right, Drone Pro, working on that TED Fellows application. About a third through the first application question. Edoji, 149. Wyland, definitely looking forward to Rat Shifter 3. Love that series. Thank you. And, Edoji brought up the same thing that I did to Greblox. That's something to think about. To answer Greblock's question, Misha says, I once had to split a book after finishing it due to a publishing deal, and then I split the sequel during the draft because I realized I had too much story left. So sounds like there's some other folks that have done that. Let's see. Yeah, Stephen King wrote The Stand, 1,350 pages, 49 hours in Audible. Yeah, Stephen King can do that because he's Stephen King. Self-published authors, I think there's a page limit. All right, let's see. The teacher, 150 plus or minus new words, profile of a man remembered in a woman's journal, and this is first novel. Well, good luck. That's good progress. All right, so everyone's doing great here. Let's see. Okay, Christina, happy Saturday. How do you keep writing fun? These days I absolutely dread sitting down and writing. Christina, pick the right projects. Pick the projects that bring you joy, and that is a number one thing, to sitting down and having fun. Second thing is, are there things that you're doing every day that you don't? Are there things in your process that you're doing that you don't enjoy? So let me give you an example. I don't outline anymore. You all know that I write by the seat of my pants, and I don't use outlines. All right. So the reason I don't do that is because when I was outlining, I discovered that I didn't like it. Like, it was just painful. And I was like, well, if I don't like this, why am I doing it? Right. And then I realized I write my books in one draft. And the reason for that is because I don't like editing. Editing is critical. It's important, but I don't like spending multiple drafts in editing. It just makes me feel bad. And I don't like that. And then that sometimes translates into the text itself. So I stopped editing. I'd learn how to write my books in one draft. I have a blast now. So are there things in your process that you're doing that are sucking away that joy? So pick the right projects and examine your process would be the short answer to that question. Okay. Awesome. Well, folks, keep asking your questions. So throw them in the comments. We're going to move on to our next session because I want to make sure we get through that. But I will get to all of your questions, I promise. So just ask your questions in the comments. All right. So let's go ahead and proceed with our second session Going to put some music on and the timer. You all know what to do. All right, so happy writing. Got about 40 seconds, and then we'll jump into our next break. All right. How did everybody do? Put in the comments. Let me know what your word count was and how you are feeling. All right. And also I'll get to some additional questions that came in during the last break. Churchill asks, what happens when you are writing and then you surreptitiously think it's merely crap? Like you don't feel the connection, coherence, and vigor. Yeah, Churchill, that's a great question. The answer is there is a difference between the quality of your text and how you feel about it. And often what happens when we're writing is your emotions will take over and you will think that what you wrote isn't any good, when in reality, it has nothing to do with the text itself. It has everything to do with your mindset and your emotion. I think that you'll find, as a lot of people do, as I do, that if you wait and then come back the next day, you actually might feel better about it. All right. And I think you'll also find that when you publish the work and you look back on that section that you think is crap, that you won't even remember that you felt bad about it. So the short answer is to just keep charging through and don't let your brain play tricks on you when it thinks that something is bad, because the reality is that it actually might not be bad at all. Readers actually might like it. All right. So just writing is an emotional game. And one of the things I've learned over the years is that when you discount your emotions and you just focus on doing the work, and you do the best you can, but you focus on doing the work, everything gets a lot easier. Because I think a lot of people get trapped in the theater of their own minds. And what I found is the mind is a very fickle thing. You could be writing something and you're like, oh man, this is amazing. And then you come back the next day and you're like, oh, this is crap. And the reality is that it's probably somewhere in the middle. So don't focus so much on those emotions. Just keep going. Get the work done. And once you've finished it, you actually might feel better about what you've written. Like I said, your mind will play tricks on you. And it's a very cruel thing as writers. And the sooner you can get past that, the sooner you can get to be more productive. All right. SD Huston, it's well before, but a storm is moving in, and I think the microphone is having a hard time picking up my words, and said that I'm trying the free program through Word. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you may find that Word gives you varying results. Same thing with like Google Docs. I know Google Docs has a dictation feature. I'm not sure if you're using Word, or I know you're using Word, but not sure if you're using Mac or Windows. But if you're using Windows, think about upgrading to Dragon at some point, and you may find that you'll have better accuracy. And another thing you could do with Word is upgrade your microphone too, because sometimes that can have a lot to do with it too, the quality of the microphone. All right, Joseph just called out, just finished my first 1,000 words of the novel I've been plotting for months. Super motivated. The Miracle Morning works. Yeah, that's a book by Hal Elrod that is a great book if anyone hasn't read it. It's called The Miracle Morning. I think Honoré Corder did a book called The Miracle Morning for Writers, which is basically a spin-off of that book. Those are both great books to check out, Joseph. So thanks for mentioning that. All right. Oh, okay. Oliver Edit says, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the 17-year-old who will be soon 18 and thinks he's old. You supported me. Thanks so much. Well, hey, Oliver, thank you. And, it's not every day you meet a 17-year-old writer who wants to be a writer. So that's fantastic. I wish I had been as ambitious and clarified in my goals as you are now. So got nowhere to go but up, my friend. Okay. Okay, everyone's doing great here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Adoji 149, Gussie 617, dictating, feeling great. Good stuff. All right, Roberta Vigilance, another text to my son. This one was light. Okay, cool. Wyland 232 words. Amy, question: do you ever have to deal with cultural sensitivity in your work? I feel we are all becoming more aware of how unaware we can be, oblivious to our impacts. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. Yeah, sure. Sometimes you have to deal with the cultural sensitivity piece. I think you just have to do the best you can. Do the best you can to make sure that you're portraying people in an honest light, and do what you can do, and come what may. And if readers point something out, then you learn from it. I think few people set out to write something that's overtly racist or misogynist. I think the reality is the vast majority, 99.9% of people, that's not their intention when they're writing. And I think readers understand that. I think that there are some folks that, they like to crusade on making sure that we're culturally aware and all that. And I think that's important and it's helpful. But I also think that as a writer, you can't worry so much about all of that. I think you just have to focus on telling the story that you can tell. And, if you make a mistake, you'll learn from it and you just go from there. But try not to let that stuff hang you up too much, because it can completely derail your writing process. But yeah, definitely, it's no one's intent to offend anybody when we're writing. That's it. And that's the easy way to lose readers. So yeah. All right. Nicholas Cato Strode 484, editing. All right. The teacher 185. Let's see. Okay, Roberta, I don't try to be like anyone else, as some may recognize. I like what the commenter said, and as I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, writing should be fun. Absolutely should be. Amy, I use dictation and Scrivener. That's interesting. I've never done dictation and Scrivener. I've heard of some people that have done that. Let's see. ML, can you do a video on your experience at InkersCon? That's a really good idea. Maybe I will do that. I had a great time at InkersCon. It is one of the best writing conferences I have been to. And the reason I say that is because they really got the details right. I'm not saying that other writing conferences don't get the details right. I'm not throwing any other writing conference under the bus. But they just went above and beyond in terms of planning, in terms of how they treated the speakers. I was very well treated as a speaker. And yeah, they just considered so many things that I really appreciated. And the speakers were great too. There was a lot of really cool stuff that I picked up from that, and just having conversations with like best-selling writers, like other best-selling writers. I sat next to Mal Cooper for dinner one night and picked her brain on Facebook stuff. I mean, that was kind of awesome. Had some chats with Inez Johnson. Just a lot of great writers. Dale Roberts, my brother channel, Dale Roberts, if you're not familiar with him. I got to meet him for the first time. That was fun. And so, yeah, I would highly recommend, if you're in the Dallas area, check out InkersCon. And if you're not in the Dallas area, you want to fly in somewhere, check it out too. And I think it's just a benefit to go to authors conferences in general. It's a lot of fun. All right, but that's a really, really good idea. Let's see. Wyland, how beneficial was InkersCon versus how fun was it? Very beneficial and a lot of fun. I learned some stuff in just a 2-minute conversation with an author that I started doing in the airport with Facebook ads, and yeah, I started making money. It was kind of awesome. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend it. And also, if for folks who couldn't make it, if you want to see my talk, you can buy a digital ticket to InkersCon. So I'll put the link in the chat, inkerscon.com, and you can watch videos of all the speakers, and there will be some additional speakers as well. So I did a talk on how to create great characters, engaging characters. Mal Cooper was doing Facebook ads. Inez Johnson was doing romance beats, like story beats. Becca Syme did a couple of talks. She did one talk on ads for intuitive authors, which was really cool. Dale Roberts did how to learn the Amazon algorithm. There was a talk by Sierra London. She did it on marketing on a shoestring budget. I know that's a hot topic for a lot of people. And there was a panel with like 7 six-figure authors. That was pretty cool. So there were a lot of really cool events here. All right. Let's see. SD says Dale Roberts is the keynote speaker for the AuthorTube Writing Conference. Dale makes a great keynote speaker. He gave a great speech on Amazon ads, so I'm looking forward to that. And let's see. Yeah, Becca Syme is also speaking at the AuthorTube Writing Conference. Becca is a great speaker, so I think you'll be in good hands with her. And she's got a YouTube channel too. I don't know if everybody knows she has a YouTube channel. I'll find the link and throw it in the comments. She doesn't have very many subscribers. I think she should have a lot more than she does. So thanks for calling that out, SD. All right. Let's see. Why don't we do this? I do have something to show all of you. It's something super cool that I found out yesterday that's like, where have you been all my life? And it's like the ultimate productivity hack. I know I'm hyping that up. It is kind of the ultimate productivity hack, particularly if you're marketing. All right, so I was going to show it during this break, but we got a lot of questions. I'll show it after our final writing hour here, our final writing session. So stick around, and if you can't stick around, just watch it on the replay. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It only costs $15 a year too, which is even more awesome. So anyway, I'm going to stop hyping this up here, and let's go and get to the third writing session, all right? So third writing session, 20 minutes, make this a power hour, and let's get some words in, folks. And afterwards, I want to know how you did for the entire morning, all right? So let's get to it. All right. Well, folks, it is the time of reckoning. Let me know, how many words did you write today during the Power Hour? That's what I want to know. And how are you feeling about it? All right. How many words did you write? How are you feeling about it? Drop it in the comments here. All right. So we had some questions come in. The first was from Wylan. Have you ever considered offering merchandise connected to your books, even for your channel here? Yeah, I have, Wylan, and it's really just a time thing. I also happen to think that merch is kind of expensive. That's just me. I'm not one that purchases a lot of merch, and so it just seems like a lot to ask people to buy a $30 T-shirt, and then I have to design it. So it's just more of a time consideration. At some point, I probably will do it. I've got a lot of sayings and things I could probably put on mugs and such. But yeah, it is definitely another stream of income that I probably should be taking advantage of. I just, like I said, to Megan's question earlier, secrets to productivity, you got to do the things that move the needle, and I can find other things that will move the needle much faster and further than merch at this point. Let's see. Roberta, off the level up, what can I do for you today? Thank you for the vibe. Well, Roberta, just keep on writing. That's what you can do for me. All right. Roberta has a suggestion to all authors. You can insert sponsors into your books while you're writing. It can be another stream of income. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. And let's see. Wylan says, I would love to play a video game based on Maiko's Theo series, my Sword Bear series. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun, like an action adventure, almost like an action RPG would be fun. It's the series about a kick-ass teddy bear that wields a sword. It'd be kind of fun. All right, let's see. Greblocks, what is the difference between a line editor, copy editor, proofreader, and continuity editor? Oh, that's an interesting question. Okay, so let's digest this a little bit. A line editor and a copy editor, for most indie authors, that's typically the same thing. There is a distinction between the two. I'm not 100% clear on it. It has more to do with traditional publishing. I would love to get someone's perspective if they know that. A copy editor generally is going to look at your words line by line, and they're going to look for consistency, flow, that the words that you use are the right words, and in addition to finding like typos and stuff. A line editor, I think, from my understanding, is a little bit more granular in what they look for. But for our purposes, I would consider a line editor and a copy editor to essentially be, or a line edit and a copy edit to essentially be the same thing. Now, a proofreader is essentially going to check the copy editor's work. So they're going to look for any leftover typos, any leftover formatting issues, and more specialized proofreaders will also take a look at things like making sure that your book is formatted properly for print. Now, they're not going to do the formatting for you, but they'll call out things that might look weird in a print version. All right, and they can do that for an ebook edition as well. So a proofreader your proofreader shouldn't be finding as much as your copy editor. All right, so if your proofreader is catching more errors than your copy editor, then your copy editor probably didn't do their job. All right, the proofreader is that last line of defense. Now, a continuity editor, and you probably have watched some videos of mine. A continuity editor is not really an editor type. Continuity is more of an editing skill set. So there are some editors who are, let me put it this way. There are editors that fall into three camps. The first camp of editors are whizzes at catching spelling and grammar and copy editing and making sure your flow works and all that. They are whizzes at that. They're the kind of people you want to hire because they will eliminate typos ruthlessly from your work, all right, and grammatical errors. Now, the second group of editors are the people who are what I call continuity experts. They have a way of catching things in your story that are inconsistent. So the example I often like to use is you've got a character that's carrying a bunch of grocery bags to their car, and then they open their car door. Well, they're carrying a bunch of grocery bags, and they're talking on the phone. And then they just open the car door and get in. Now, a good continuity editor would say, wait a minute, they're on the phone, and they're carrying a bunch of grocery bags. shouldn't they put one of those bags down before they open the car door? Like those type of edits, things that readers will catch, and they'll see that's something a reader would think, well, wait a minute, why would they do it that way? All right. Or like I had an example in one of my books where I had a character who there was a fire, and the character needed to get a fire extinguisher out of one of those fire extinguisher panels in a parking garage. And I had the character just open up the panel and get out the fire extinguisher and put out the fire. And my editor said, no, that makes no sense. Those panels are usually locked. And I was like, oh, yeah, duh. Of course I knew that. All right. So they catch stuff like that. They are amazing at catching errors like that. All right. But those type of editors I found over the years, they're not always as good at catching the grammatical stuff. Like you're either a whiz at one or you're a whiz at the other. And whatever you're not good at tends to be what you tend to have more errors in the book. And then the third category is that mythical unicorn of editors that are good at both. And they are extremely rare, but they do exist. I do happen to know a few. So when you think about it like that, you're really thinking about copy editors, proofreaders, and to a way lesser extent like developmental editors, which I don't recommend. But really, you're thinking about continuity as a skill set of that author. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it's kind of a long, rambly answer, but I don't think you can actually hire a continuity editor, though I could be wrong. Okay, Wylan, do you have any thoughts on retroactively making audio or other formats of older books in my portfolio? Yeah, I've done that in the past. I made audiobooks for some of my books, like my Last Dragon Lord, several years after I published it. There's never a bad time to get your book into audio. Do you plan to put audio versions of older books that you haven't yet? I would love to do that. It's just expensive. So I consider audio on a case-by-case basis. At this point, I try to get books into audio that I know are going to have a decent chance of making the money back. At some point, when I'm far more successful, I do have a goal of getting all my books into audio regardless of how much they make. But I would definitely be in the poorhouse if I did that today. Audio is the most expensive thing you can do as an author. Okay. All right. The numbers are coming in, folks. So, Nicholas Cato Strode, 1370. Wylan, 400. Amy, 952. SD, 621. All right. And then Jen, 526. Drone Pro made massive progress on the application. Fantastic. Oh, and Nicholas, I'm going to clarify, 3280 editing. Jill, first time at the Power Hour. Welcome. Use the time to develop a new idea, and I'm feeling great to start. Awesome. Nice work. .c, 1939 words. Feel like I finally made a breakthrough. Great. That's what these Power Hours are for. And Gussie, 1855. Stories moving right along. I'm feeling the vibes here. I'm feeling the positivity everyone's doing. I think I'm at 300 words for the day. I had to pull out my outline and go through some stuff. I didn't outline this novel, but I had to pull out my outline that I wrote as I went. And there's a few things I needed to fix. All right. Medicine. What do you think about a hybrid AI human writing? I think it's the future. I think there are a lot of people that are resisting it at this point, but I think that there are some tremendous opportunities to use AI to help us write better stories and become better versions of ourselves. Pseudo-write is really the only one out there I'm aware of that kind of approaches the level that I think is going to be the future, but I think there's going to be a lot more that proliferate. All right, Adoji, 298. Amy says, I love this very casual, light writing community. Me too, Amy. And the teacher, 340. All right, let's see. Adoji, would you ever consider comics for Old Dark, Theo, and your witch novels? I would, but again, that's another expensive proposition, and you got to find the right artist. So I would definitely be interested in it, but it's not on my priority list at this point until I've got some more success. Let's see here. Okay, Drone Pro. What software and methods do you like for creating books for Kindle or Smashwords? Well, I use Vellum exclusively. Vellum is a Mac-only formatting app that allows you to format great and retailer compliant ebooks and paperbacks. It also will allow you to do hardcovers and large print editions, which really your print editions are the same if the trim size is the same. But large print has some different things. Vellum is not really the greatest at large print. I have some serious problems with the way Vellum approaches large print, but they do give you a serviceable large print edition. There's other apps out there. Atticus by Dave Chesson is another great option. It's fairly new. They're still working out some things, but from what I've seen, everything looks really good. So and that's available on Windows and Mac. It's a browser-based formatting app. There's some other ones that are ebook only. Judo, I'll type it in the comments. Judo is another ebook formatter. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's some downsides to it, but it does give you a lot of like a lot of power and like a lot of features and how you want to customize your book. And it's fairly affordable as well. So that's another one I always like to recommend people because that's a good one. Another one that's free, honestly, and it's really good. I think it's underrated. I think it's one of the most underrated tools in an author's inbox or an author's toolbox. That's Calibre. I'll type that in the comments. Calibre is a great app. It can do so much. It does so much. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people don't even realize how much Calibre can actually do. But Calibre can also do formatting for you as well. It's a little bit more technical, but it will give you a pretty good looking ebook as well. All right, so keep your questions and your comments coming, folks. I'm always here to answer those, but I want to show you something. All right, so you all know that I love apps. Like, I'm a techie guy. Like, I just do techie stuff, and I know that sometimes some of the stuff I do is a little too technical, but I just can't help myself. That's how I'm wired. Because one of my things is, how can I create a writing business that runs itself? Meaning, how can I do way more using automation, outsourcing, and just streamlining my processes so that I'm getting the maximum benefit of the existing technology? All right. And so you all know that I have, I write on my phone. That's a way I use technology. I use dictation. That's a way I use technology. I use Microsoft Word macros when I'm editing, particularly with dictation. That helps me catch typos and keep my work very consistent. I have automation and Microsoft Excel macros to help me capture my sales and put all my sales stuff together. I mean, I just have a lot of stuff that I use that helps me be productive. To answer Megan's earlier question, that's another secret that I have. So I invest a lot in technology and automation. Anyway, that's a long way of saying that I came across, I've been doing a lot of book promotions lately. So over the past week, I've booked promotions. It's called ad stacking. And that's a technique where you book a promo at a place like a Free Booksy or Bargain Booksy or Book Gorilla or Book Barbarian. These are all places that have email newsletters that they'll send your book to these people and you just discount it. And I found myself filling out a lot of forms, and I hate filling out forms. I don't know if you all know this. I hate forms. And the reason I hate filling out forms is because they're all different. So if you've ever had to do this, you fill out one place. They'll ask you for your ASIN. They'll ask you for the title of your book. Then they'll ask you for the Amazon link. Then you go to another place, and then it asks you for your Amazon link and your Barnes & Noble link and your Kobo link, and then they want your book description. Then you go to another place, and then they want the price, and then they want some random 250-character thing, and it just gets old. Like, it just gets tedious. All right. So one of the things I said, there has to be a better way to do this. So I discovered, and maybe you all already know about this, I'm just late to the party, but there's a thing that's called a clipboard manager. And I want to know in the comments if you've ever heard of a clipboard manager. All right. So typically when you copy something on your computer and you paste it, then it goes away. Like, the clipboard doesn't exist. Like, whatever you copied, it's not on the clipboard anymore, or it stays there. And the moment that you copy something else, then what was previously on your clipboard gets deleted. So if you need to copy multiple things, you have to go and copy it again and then go in and do it. Well, what a clipboard manager does is it saves everything you copy. And then with a keyboard shortcut, you can pull it up and then instantly paste in what you're looking for. So let me let me show you something here. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So this is BookBub. All right. So everybody knows BookBub. BookBub needs no introduction. Okay. So this is a classic example of a time when you need to copy and paste like your brains out in order to do this. So imagine having to fill out forms that, okay, so BookBub wants my Barnes and Noble page. They want my Apple Books page, my Google Play page, all that stuff. So normally what I would have to do is I'd have to go and I'd have to open up a tab and I'd have to go to Google Play Books, right? And then I have to open up another tab and I have to go to Barnes and Noble, and it just gets tedious, all right? Now, what the clipboard manager does is, let's just say I've already copied these links. So I've already copied my Barnes & Noble link, my Apple link, my Google link, my Kobo link. It's already in my clipboard somewhere. So all I have to do is recall it. All right. So with a quick keyboard shortcut, which is Command E, I'm using one that's called paste. And you'll see on the bottom of my screen, this is everything I have copied to my clipboard in the last day. All right. So all I can do, I can look at these links down here. And here's the link I want, the one I got highlighted. That's my Barnes & Noble link to the book that I want to promote. And I just click enter, and boom. Then I tab, and then, okay, I need to get my Apple link and go all the way over here. And here's my Apple link, boom. And then I want Google Play. I want Google Play, get my Google Play link, and boom, shakalaka. And then I want my Kobo link, go all the way over here, and there's my Kobo link. Look at that. I don't have to do any switching back and forth to different tabs or anything like that. All I got to do is, if it's in my history, I can do it. And then if I want, I can even, with this particular app, this is called Paste, by the way. This is for Mac. I can even create different pin boards. So like here, I can search for anything that I've copied. And then I can even, for example, I can even create pin boards. So this here, I can create a theme. So for my book, Be a Writing Machine, that I'm trying to promote, I could rename this Be a Writing Machine, and I could put all of the links in here for the book. So I could put my Kobo links, and then I could just recall these super easy. All right, I could even put my book description in here, and you can see here some of the things I've copied. I copied some text from Scrivener. It tells you very clearly that you copied it from Scrivener. I gave you guys the link to Becca Syme's YouTube channel. That's in there. I had some other stuff. I had to copy a hex code for a color, and for my website. It's super clean and super clear. So there's a lot of different managers out there like this, but that, to me, this is a game changer. So I'll put the name of it in here. It's called Paste for Mac. So just type in Paste, and you'll see it. But yeah, huge game changer. A lot of different applications for that. When you're doing ad stacking and you got to constantly copy and paste the same stuff over and over, it's kind of annoying. When you're doing Amazon ads and you've got a bunch of keywords and you've got some ad text that you want to put in, and you're creating a bunch of text or creating a bunch of ads, you can use the keyboard manager or the clipboard manager to so you don't have to switch back and forth between windows. Because that's where you lose the productivity, is when you have to minimize windows or you have to go to different tabs, and then you got to recopy stuff over and over again. This just helps you do it super clean and super crisp. All right. So yeah, I don't know. That's my thing. That's my thing that I found. That's where have you been all of my life? All the promos and stuff I've done, all the copy and paste work I've done, this helps save me time. This will save me a massive amount of time. So check it out if you're interested, folks. All right, so let's see. Wylan asks, are you familiar at all with script, screenplay, stage play writing? Not really. I'm not terribly interested in it, to be honest with you. Screenplay writing it's a special skill, and it's a skill that I would just rather have somebody else do if they're doing my stuff. it's a lifelong skill. I mean, it's like writing fiction. I mean, you've got to write a lot of fiction before you get really good at it. You've got to write a lot of screenplays before you get really good at that too. So I just choose to focus my efforts on fiction and other things that are going to move the needle. Medicine. What dictation software do you use in Microsoft Word? Sounds interesting. I use Dragon. I use the Windows version of Dragon, and it's Dragon Naturally Speaking. I think it's version 13. Despite what anybody tells you, do not use the Mac version of Dragon. It's been discontinued, and it does not work. I don't even think it works anymore, but even if it does, it doesn't work very well. So Dragon for Windows, and I used to use like the actual software where like you open up Microsoft Word and then you click the microphone button and you dictate, and then the words appear on your screen. But I found that that's actually the slowest form of dictation. What I actually use now is I use Dragon's transcription feature. So what that allows me to do is it allows me to dictate into a voice recorder or even a voice memos app on my phone and then upload the audio later, and then Dragon will transcribe the text as if I dictated it on screen. And that is the fastest way to dictate. And then I combine that with Microsoft Word macros, and like it allows me to write like super clean first drafts with dictation. Okay. SD says, just did the ad stacking promo strategy this week with my book launch. Haven't heard of a clipboard manager. Well, hey, now you have. All right. So the teacher, yes, I use Clipboard all the time, and I'm a flatliner when it comes to being a techie. Yeah, I think Clipboard is another one. There's a ton of them, and a lot of them are free. So it's like not a very expensive thing. And the one I showed you was Paste from Mac, and that one is like $15 a year. I think Windows has a built-in clipboard manager as well. So I know a lot of people have said that they like that as well. Drone Pro, what's the software called? It's called Paste for Mac. All right. Let's see. Amy says, is there a difference between Paste and Paste Now? I'm not familiar with Paste Now. Paste is the one I've been using. Okay, whom or which brand do you recommend for audio? Roberta Vigilance asks. I think you mean which platform you recommend for audio. The narrators is going to be different for every book. But as far as platforms go, Audible Creation Exchange, also known as ACX, that is the key place that most people are using for audiobooks. Audible is the number one player in the United States market. There are some downsides to going with Audible, namely that if you go exclusive to them, you can't distribute your book more widely. Also, their royalty shares can also be a major downside, but they make it very easy to create audiobooks. There's also my friends at Findaway Voices that was just acquired by Spotify. They are another platform, and they allow you to distribute widely. So when you're exclusive to Audible, you can only do Audible, Amazon, and Apple. All right, that's the only places your books will appear. If you are on Findaway, they can get your book into like 40 different retailers. So in addition to all the ones I just mentioned, they can also get you into like Google Play Books or Kobo audiobooks or Scribd and Overdrive Audio. So you definitely, if you can afford it, it's more expensive to be non-exclusive to Audible. Like you have to pay upfront for your narration, but it's worth it because you get way better distribution. So what I do is I use ACX and I go non-exclusive to ACX, and then I pay, so I basically pay a narrator up front to do that. And I pay per finished hour, and I go non-exclusive to ACX, and then I also distribute through Findaway Voices. That allows me to maximize my distribution. And something that I've just started doing, I haven't really announced it yet because I haven't officially got it all worked out, but I am now selling audiobooks directly on my website, and that is basically fulfilled through BookFunnel, which allows you to upload your audiobooks, and then as long as the user has the BookFunnel app on their phone, they can listen to your audiobook much like they would listen to it in like Audible or like Apple Books. And BookFunnel also allows you to download the MP3s as well. So that's something that I'll probably be announcing in the next few weeks. I'm still getting the kinks worked out, but if you go to like My Book for Be a Writing Machine, or I think How to Write Your First Novel, those do have the direct features enabled. Okay, let's see. Wylan, can we see your voice recorder and harmonica harness setup? I really want to check it out. Wylan, I would love to show it to you. My voice recorder is still in my backpack from InkersCon. So, however, I am releasing a video here very, very soon that actually I'll show you how that works. All right, so it's coming. And also, I think I showed it in the last Power Hour. So check out the last Power Hour, Wylan. I think I did it like within the first 10 minutes. So check it out. Okay, Amy says Pace Now looks like it's a cross-platform clipboard manager. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I know I've got Windows people watching that are like, oh man, I can't use that for Windows. So yeah, check out Pace Now. It might be pretty cool. Roberta says, is the recorder an app? Roberta, no, it is a physical voice recorder. So the one, this is my phone, but it's a physical voice recorder. It's like the size of a candy bar, maybe a little bit shorter. The one I use is the Sony, I'll put it in the chat, Sony UX570. It costs about $70 on Amazon, and it is worth every penny. All right, because a voice recorder, that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to capture the human voice. So the closer you can get that voice recorder to your mouth, the better results you're going to get with like a Dragon. Yeah, Wylan says Windows and Android both have built-in clipboard managers, but I haven't played around with them too much. Yeah, they don't really advertise that stuff too much. Like I have Windows and Mac on my computer, and I kind of switch between them at will, and I didn't even know that Windows had a built-in clipboard manager. I've heard it's pretty good, but I like this one better. I haven't even played around with it, but it's gonna be a lot to get me off of this one. This is pretty cool. Okay, SD, do you use Dragon Professional Anywhere or Dragon Professional Individual? I use Dragon Professional Individual. I used Dragon Anywhere for a little bit, and it wasn't bad. The accuracy wasn't quite as good, but if you've got a Mac, Dragon Anywhere is kind of your only choice if you want to dictate, and there's some limitations to it. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Professional Individual is the one I would recommend. Mac users are at a serious disadvantage right now. It's kind of crappy that like Nuance hasn't figured out a way to create an app for Windows. You would think that they could take Dragon Anywhere, which is a mobile application, and you can dictate on your phone, on iOS and Android. You would think that they would take that and just like make it into a Mac version, like on a desktop. But for some reason, they haven't done that. So I don't know why. But yeah, Dragon Professional Individual version 13 is the one I'm using, which is the most up-to-date version. All right. Yeah, so good stuff. So yeah, check out Paste, everybody. I'm excited about that. It's a lot of fun, and also check out InkersCon. It's a really, really great authors conference. And also, Wylan, since you had asked about audiobooks, I forgot to mention this for everyone. You all know that I wrote a book. It's called The Author Estate Handbook, and it's about estate planning for authors. You can check it out on that link, but what I really wanted to let everybody know was that I just released the audiobook for that, and I posted it on my YouTube channel for free. So there are some ads, you got to watch some ads, but you can listen to it for free. If you ever wanted to know about estate planning or thinking about how to plan for what happens to your books when you die, how do you ensure that your heirs continue getting your income, how do you keep your books in print after you're gone, this book answers all that, and you can listen to the audiobook on my YouTube channel for free. I posted it on like Wednesday, so it's like one of my most recent videos, if you are interested. All right, let's see. Ben, how to record and transcribe while keeping an audio version. Yeah, there's a couple ways you can do that, Ben. The first way is that when you record something onto a voice recorder, you automatically have the audio. You upload it to Dragon, and Dragon takes that audio and turns it into text, but you always have the audio. So there's no concerns there. Now, if you are dictating traditionally, meaning you're dictating on your computer and then the text is just appearing, this is a little known thing about Dragon. you can actually highlight text and you can play it back. So you can actually listen to what you said. So like, for example, Dragon will often mishear you, and it'll put stuff in the text that's like, wait, I didn't say that. But then you look at the text and you're like, what did I say? I don't remember. You can actually highlight it, and you can actually have Dragon play it back, and it'll play the audio. And when you save your text, it'll actually save it's like a dot, I think it's .dragon, or it's like a dot, like a temporary file that actually contains your audio. So when you're saving your files and you see those little .dragon files and you're like, what is that? Don't delete those, because those contain your audio. All right. So definitely very easy to keep them. All right. .c, oh, thank you, says, I have both estate books and paper, and they are good. Well, thank you for reading, and that's a good testimonial. All right. Wyland says, I've been listening to the Author Estate Handbook. It's really good, but over my head at the moment. That's okay. Just hear it, and then one day you'll remember that you heard it, and it'll be helpful for you. All right. All right. Well, I'm not seeing very many more questions, folks, so we may wrap it up here. Some things coming up. Just want to let you know that I am going to be in New York City at the annual Writer's Digest Conference next month. It is, I believe, June 28th through 31st. I'm doing a talk on estate planning for authors, as well as how to self-publish when you have no money. All right, so if any of you are going to be in New York City and Manhattan, I'd love to meet you. It's going to be at the Hilton Manhattan, or the Hilton Midtown, so that will be fun. Then I'm also speaking at virtually at the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. They're putting on an annual conference this year. I'm doing a talk on the ins and outs of self-publishing, so if any of you are children's book authors, I would love to see you there. Again, that's going to be virtual as well. And then I've got a video coming out next week on pantsing. I've gotten a lot of questions on writing without an outline. I recorded a video yesterday night about how to do that and some of the top questions that I get, so that will be there. And then another video coming up on dictation. So Wyland, you talked about voice recording. I'm actually going to talk about that, and then I'm actually going to talk about my macros. And I'm going to have a solution for some of you who maybe want to be interested in doing that. All right. So SD, June or July. SD, I will be at Writer's Digest in July. That'll be in New York City in July. The Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, that's going to be in August. I believe that's the weekend of August 5th, if I remember correctly. So I will share links, and so folks can have access to those. Wyland asks, how are you? I am great. I was sick for a while, Wyland. I had I caught COVID, and then then I caught strep throat, and then I got better, and then I caught strep throat again. But I'm better. I'm going into some surgery next week, just some minor procedures and stuff, so I might be a little bit out, but no, I'm great. I'm feeling great, energetic, and haven't been better, actually. And then let's see. Oh, DCJ, would you ever be willing to post one of your conference talks? Yes, I usually try to negotiate that as part of the speaking arrangements. InkersCon, they have that one. They are going to give me some short audio and video from the conference, and I should have that sometime next month. I will post that on the channel. I have not been able to record any talks lately, but if you look at my channel, I think I've actually got a playlist. Let me see if I can pull it, of talks that I've given. So like my talk at 20 Books Vegas, that's not on my channel, but it is on YouTube. So I have a playlist of a lot of the different talks that I've given. And I also, if I have any like podcast stuff, I will easily post those as well. So let me grab that real quick. Let's see. It's a playlist. It's on my channel. It's speaking engagements and keynotes. All right. So yeah, I just threw that in the chat, DCJ. So I don't know. It's probably a couple hours worth of keynotes and talks. So you can check those out as you see fit. All right. So, well, folks, I think we're at the end of the road. I am so glad that you've joined me. For all of our new folks, thank you for coming. I will announce the date of the next Power Hour via my newsletter list. Because we're in July, I just have to look at the calendar, and I got to make sure that I'm able to do it just with holiday stuff coming up. So I don't have that date just yet, but I will send it out about a week prior. So if you're not on my email list, authorlevelup.com/fan club, join my email list, and then I will email everyone when the next Power Hour is going to be. So I'm so thrilled that you joined me this month. I'm glad everyone got some words in, and I'll talk to you next month. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.